How are you, sir?
Mike, I'm outstanding. How are you?
I'm good. So obviously there is a long history with the Turner broadcast family and the Rhodes family. So with all that lineage that we all know about, what does it mean to you to be the first TNT champion? And now that you are the champion, I also have to ask, what was your first thoughts when you heard about this belt being instituted into the company?
Well, I mean, you talk about TNT and you talk about wrestling and the Turner Family Networks and everything that Ted did, that Dusty, that Bill, that Eric did, and Sting, and just there's this lineage and this heritage. But Tony Schiavone brought up this really good point in our sit-down interview where he named all these really great stats for me, like my 1,000th match by 28. It was really special stuff, but they were like 10-year stats. They were stats that they just didn't. It's not what you shoot for. And to be able to add to my legacy the very first at this, it's such a just a damn good feeling. And to come back and have Arn Anderson tell me, now it's your time just started. Your time just started. And after all the time I've spent in, you think like, oh, well, good. Finally, I'm just really happy. My initial thoughts, this might sound so strange, the story is so uniquely linked from Turner and Dusty and Dustin and Cody, but my initial thoughts when I won were just about my mom. She's the one I have left, and I think she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it, so I was happy. When you can please your mom, that's a good thing.
Great, thank you. Next question is from Alex McCarthy from TalkSport. Alex?
Hey, Cody. First of all, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Really good match, really good. I just wanted to get your thoughts on how you felt Mike Tyson played his part in that match, because it felt like, it would have been tempting to have him knock people out and all things of that nature. But, I thought you and Lance put on a great show that made both of you look great.
Lance is probably one of the top three people I've ever been in the ring with. We're not best friends by any means. The recruitment of Lance Archer to AEW, Tony Khan, and QT Marshall were really, they were the ones who were on that search. And I questioned that search, and I have no questions anymore. It's one of the top three opponents I've ever had. I cannot wait to step back into the ring with him. A freak, hybrid, drug-free athlete, the things he can do, that's what you want. That's what a wrestling company should be paying the big bucks for. And hats off to Tony and QT for finding him. As far as Mike being a fan of AEW since the initial Double or Nothing, it was really fitting that he was here for the sequel of Double or Nothing. And I thought it was, if things get hairy out there, I think had Jake Roberts taken any further steps, but those fast hands of Iron Mike would have got to the old man. But Jake knew better. Special moment to have Mike there, and for so many reasons, but just surreal. I mean, that's the best way to really describe it. Him being out there is surreal. I've seen Mike Tyson every fight. I've seen him in the ring with Steve Austin, and tonight he handed me this, and that's very just surreal. I don't think I'll wrap my head around it anytime soon.
Thanks. The next question is from Dave LaGreca, Sirius XM.
Well, Dave, you gonna ask a question here, brother?
Cody, can you hear me?
Yes, Dave, I can hear you and your dog barking in the background.
Congratulations, man. I know you put a lot of time and effort into each and every show, and everybody said how much fun this show was. And just tell us how proud you are of this roster.
The roster here, if you were in the Daly's place tonight, if you were able to see how the roster, even at social distance, how they were able to watch the show and their reactions, and also that aspect of watching it and saying, man, you can see it in their eyes. I want I want to be there. I want to be on that field, that itch. That's the real competition behind the other competition that you see. And that's such a good thing for a roster, such a motivating thing. I'm incredibly proud of the roster so far. I'm also incredibly proud of Tim Walbert's team, which is Keith Mitchell, Tim Walbert, Mark, Jamie, Kevin Sullivan, Jim Morris, and litany of names I likely forget, Denise, QT Marshall, Charlie Ramone. Our production team does not know the word no. They're just so talent-friendly. One of the biggest things, and this is a side story, forgive my rant here, but elsewhere, I noticed there's this disconnect between production and talent. They talk like truck drivers to each other, and there's a lack of like family. And one of the first things I told Tony, and Tony is an absolutely wonderful boss who's instilled it, is that can't be that way here. We got to know each other. We got to be able to speak to each other. We got to help each other tell these stories in the ring. And man, no place on earth does it like AEW in terms of the symbiotic nature between production and talent. So I'm of course very proud of the locker room, but I'm incredibly proud of what they were able to put together production-wise. And that's all those names I listed, plus many more for this show, for Double or Nothing. It's a show you can't forget.
The next question is from Mark Raimondi from ESPN.
Hey, Cody, congratulations on a great show.
Thanks, Mark.
You guys have made the most of a very tough situation down in Jacksonville, no fans, and just everything going on in the world. How important has it been to be creative during this time and kind of think outside the box?
It's been one of the most challenging times as a performer and competitor ever, and I scarily have gotten used to the non-fans, and I don't like that. I want to get back into arenas. I want to get back with fans. But Frankie Kazarian, he's had a couple of drinks. He comes up to me. He had a wonderful pay-per-view for himself, but also Frankie's a big leader behind the scenes. And he just said, "Hey, this is the time that wrestling's going to forget, but they're not going to forget what we did tonight." And he coined it so eloquently and apropos. This is a unique time. As a fan and the young people who end up being wrestlers themselves go back and watch these matches, there's the albatross, there's the fact that there is no crowd, there's the question of why, there's the explanation. It's always this conversation. It will always be a conversation. But to be able to give them something, that's our obligation. You paid $50 for a pay-per-view in one of the most damnedest times our country's ever seen, so much division, and we're obligated. I'm obligated. It's my literal job to make you happy. And I'm sorry. I'm very happy with tonight.
Thanks. The next question is from Jim Barcelone from the Miami Herald.
Congratulations, Cody.
Thanks, Jim.
You mentioned Ted Turner, Dusty. You had Mike Tyson there tonight. You have Arn. You have Jake. How important was it to tell that story? Because for me, it felt a little old school in capturing that emotion with the heel dominating. And then you had the baby face coming back at the end and winning the title and just capturing that whole feel. Was that part of the mindset going in for this one?
Well, I think, not to be too inside, but I do think everything I do is old school. And I'm not really trying for that. It's just the wrestling style I prefer. I'm going to put it out there because I get really tired of hearing it. Myself and Matt and Nick and Kenny, the EVPs of the company, that bond is unbreakable. We don't have to be best friends. It's an unbreakable bond. And what they do, what Matt and Nick do in terms of the Deadpool style of wrestling and breaking the fourth wall, what Kenny does with the DDT-inspired elements, and what I do with Crockett-inspired and Dusty-inspired elements, that's what's always made the freaking group work. We don't have to agree. We're not supposed to, actually. We're supposed to give you these different flavors And I watched, the Stadium Stampede. I watched it when it was put together, and I watched it just now. And watching people watch it is so damn enjoyable. And you mentioned old school. That's the flavor I like to bring. It's the wrestling I love the most, and I hope I'm getting the best I've been at it. For me, I have to improve. At this point, more than ever, I have to keep improving, and I hope I can continue to do so.
And the last question for Cody is from Bill Pritchard from WrestleZone.
Hey, Cody, how you doing?
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Good. So the other day you said that you didn't get a chance to look at the title yet, and now that you've seen it, I just wanted to, get your thoughts on what it looks like, and maybe if you know any of the design cues or anything that comes to mind when you look at it from the past.
Well, the part that is the most special, and Tony Khan pointed out to me, is the mansion. It's Ted's. And if you've driven by Techwood and you see the studios, and Sam Linsky and Brett and Kevin Riley and all these wonderful individuals who have believed in us and given us this new home, this is the mansion. And the guy hand-painted it. And I know Tony has already told you all this already, so it's not breaking news, but this isn't even the final belt, the actual silver-plated title, which has the shine finish and the extra details. Due to the COVID and the pandemic, we didn't have it here, and we will have it maybe even as soon as this week's Dynamite. But man, I don't know if I want it, because this is the one I got handed, and I'm sorry, I'm very somewhat emotional this evening, but this is the one I got handed, and I think it's the coolest damn thing I've ever seen.